I was born the child of an alcoholic. My parents divorced right after my younger brother was born, and so we moved in with my grandparents. I still always felt alone. I felt like I never quite fit in, like I didn't quite get it. I wasn't quite getting something. I was just a little left of center. Something was wrong. I didn't know what it was, so I started to become more of a people pleaser. I started down that road because everybody needs to like me. If I do this for you, then you'll like me, or I'll become, what's that word, indispensable. You'll need me, and then that means I'll have my value. That's where I'm going to get my value, and that's what I was looking for, was my value. I didn't even think about why I was the way I was. I was too young. I think a lot of it, of course, has to do with an absentee father who was an alcoholic. But part of the problem with that was, you know, I would see him maybe twice a year, maybe. I think something that I developed was seeing God through that same filter, and not fully understanding that my earthly father, as much as he failed me, God never would. God didn't see me like my father, but I, again, couldn't get that yet either. And I just accepted it as a fact. Okay, God will do what he wants with me whenever he, you know, wants to think about me or whatever. It was just the way it was, and I kept on with my people pleasing. And then as I get older, start having a good time in high school and start drinking and partying with the friends, and that went on for years. I got married, had a couple of, you know, I had 2 kids, and then went to, started going to a church and worked as a pastoral secretary at this church. And I didn't learn, I still wasn't learning about the agape love. Because what I was raised in, and it's nothing against these entities, but what I was raised in was, you need to pray more, you need to be more holy, you need to just be a better person. You need to work harder, you need to study harder, you need to just, it always came back to, I'm doing something wrong, where am I missing it, where am I, it was like having Job's 3 friends around you all the time. So, fast forward some years, I realized that I had the disease that my father had, that I am an alcoholic. And it took me several years to realize that. But I drank because I didn't know how to process what I was feeling. I drank because I didn't want to feel what I was feeling. I drank because of any reason that you could possibly think of. I drank because I was an alcoholic and I have the disease. The great thing about this was that the Lord really used this. I woke up, I was pretty gone in this. I woke up one morning after what I call this lost weekend. Both my children were gone, and I didn't know where they were, but I knew in my heart that they'd had enough. And I thought, what kind of mother does this? And I never once thought I need to quit drinking. I was still a victim. I was still a big victim. I never once thought I needed to quit drinking, and then there was no plan for it. One day I was drinking and nothing was bothering that, and the next day when I woke up with my kids gone, it was literally like this shining light in my brain that gave me just enough clarity that, okay, this has to stop. And see, that was the Lord, because I had no plans. I had no plans to become not a victim anymore. I had no plans to stop drinking. I had none of that. I just would have drank through all those feelings. So I'm so grateful. That passage of, you know, he brought us up out of the miry clay. And that was my life. My life was just mired in all of this stuff. I hadn't lost my job yet. I hadn't gotten pulled over yet. I hadn't gotten in any accidents yet, but spiritually, just sludge. I was so soul sick and so needing the Lord, and he did what I couldn't do. He did for me what I couldn't do for myself, absolutely. He brought me out of that. I went to a program, and it's been 12 years since I've had a drink. I've been sober for 12 years by God's grace. And the thing about this that I love is that it's nothing on my part. Everything I do, I have to be pointed to God with everything.